Attention, passionate Cleveland Browns fans. Breaking news. Something big is happening in the AFC North, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on the Cleveland Browns' path toward another championship run, a power shift that could cause a division rival to stumble for years. We're bringing this to you first. But before we begin, if you're a true Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're part of this family. Let's help each other reach 2,000 subscribers. Share this with your friends and fellow Browns fans. Let's get to the news. Browns Nation, what's happening behind the scenes of this franchise could define the team's future for years. And today, we need to talk about a possibility that's dividing the fan base, raising internal alarms, and putting the development of our young quarterback at risk. A major red flag has emerged around a Browns head coaching candidate, one that could negatively impact Shedeur Sanders. According to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, offensive coordinator Todd Monken has received an interview request for the vacant head coach position in Cleveland. The current offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, a direct division rival, has entered the Browns' radar as a possible new head coach following the departure of Kevin Stefanski. And this is where the story starts to get dangerous. Because this isn't just about offensive schemes, aggressive play calling, or numbers on paper. It's about personality, locker room control, and, most importantly, how this coach would handle the Browns' most valuable asset right now, Shedeur Sanders. League sources and reports out of Baltimore indicate that Todd Monken has never been an easy coach to work with. Quite the opposite. With the Ravens, he reportedly experienced constant tension with Lamar Jackson, an MVP quarterback, team leader, and the engine of the offense. And even then, there were conflicts, differences in vision, ego clashes, and debates over reads and on-field autonomy. Cleveland is searching for a new head coach to replace Stefanski, who was recently dismissed, and the team has already requested an interview with Todd Monken, the Ravens' offensive coordinator. While this is only the first of many interviews to come, the Browns must be extremely careful about what they decide regarding Monken after the latest report from journalist Jeff Zrebiec, who covers the Ravens for The Athletic. Zrebiec, widely regarded as highly plugged in, confirmed rumors of friction between Monken and Lamar Jackson. He noted that John Harbaugh often acted as a buffer between Monken and Jackson due to personality differences. Additionally, the dynamic between Harbaugh, offensive coordinator Todd Monken, and star quarterback Lamar Jackson had become awkward, especially this season, when there seemed to be weekly confusion about whether Jackson would practice or not. Harbaugh often served as a mediator between Monken and Jackson, whose personalities didn't always mesh. Jeff Zrebiec, The Athletic. How would Monken handle Shedeur Sanders' personality? Sanders is undeniably independent. He moves at his own pace and does things his way. That's not a criticism of his character, just an observation. If Monken clashed with Jackson to the point where Harbaugh had to intervene, it's reasonable to expect something similar with Sanders. And in that hypothetical scenario, there would be no buffer, because Monken would be the one in charge. While there's no guarantee Sanders would be the Browns starter under a hypothetical Monken regime, he showed enough in 2025 to at least deserve a legitimate chance to compete for the job. That alone is enough to raise a red flag, because evaluations could begin to lean more subjective than objective. There's also the reality that Jackson is an established superstar. Sanders, while promising, has not yet fully proven himself. An inexperienced player clashing with a head coach is a recipe for disaster. Cleveland must resolve its quarterback situation, and Sanders is a viable option. Everyone needs to be aligned to reach a solution and avoid wasting a potentially strong opportunity. Other Ravens players reportedly disagreed with Monken's approach as well. Gianna Hahn of the Baltimore Banner reported that players felt Monken abandoned game plans mid-game and was viewed as distant and uncollaborative. Sources with direct knowledge of how Monken ran the offense said players felt the Ravens would work on a specific game plan during the week only to abandon it mid-game, creating chaos and confusion, Hahn reported Tuesday. They also viewed Monken as increasingly distant and reluctant to collaborate with players. This is information the Browns must take seriously, regardless of any prior relationship with Monken. Monken's resume still makes sense, but the new information is certainly something to weigh. The Browns may prefer an offense-focused head coach to maintain what has worked in Cleveland. Jim Schwartz is under contract through 2026, and the only way Cleveland would lose him is if he were hired as a head coach elsewhere. If the Browns hire an offensive-minded head coach, keeping Schwartz as defensive coordinator is virtually guaranteed. There's no reason to fix what isn't broken on Cleveland's defense. Schwartz would not welcome a defensively-minded head coach arriving and imposing a new system. No veteran coach would. That reality makes Monken one of the top interview names for the Browns right now. He's had success at both the college and NFL levels, and he even spent a year in Cleveland. If the Haslam family hadn't liked him, he wouldn't be in the conversation. Monken would bring an experienced offensive mind paired with Schwartz's defensive expertise to lead the Browns. Cleveland has already been linked to 5 names for the opening, 3 of them on the offensive side. The current Ravens assistant should be taken seriously, especially since this would be his second interview with the Browns for the head coaching job. Either way, the Browns have a lot to investigate, and they need to make the right moves once they do.